Hello friends, and welcome back to English EchoLingo. I am your host, Mike. It is so good to have you here today. You know, I was thinking this morning about why so many people work so hard at learning English, but feel like they are standing still. Maybe you feel this way too. You wake up, you listen to a podcast, you do your shadow practice, you repeat sentences from a textbook, and you do this for months. But then, a real person asks you a simple question. And suddenly, your mind goes blank. Your heart starts beating fast, and the words just won't come out. It's frustrating, isn't it? I want to tell you something very important right at the start of today's episode. If you feel stuck, it is not because you lack talent. It is not because you are not working hard enough. It is because you might be focusing only on consuming English rather than producing it. Think about it like this: if you want to become a great cook, you can watch 1,000 hours of cooking shows on TV. You can learn the names of every knife and every spice. But until you actually pick up a knife and start chopping an onion, you are not learning how to cook. You are just learning about cooking. Many English learners are experts at learning about English. They know the grammar rules. They know the vocabulary lists. But when it's time to speak, the bridge between their brain and their mouth is broken. Today, we are going to fix that bridge. I am going to share with you 7 specific, powerful habits that will change the way you speak forever. These are not the typical tips you hear every day. These are small, logical, and highly effective habits that you can do at home, by yourself, for just a few minutes a day. We are going to move away from just shadowing and move toward owning the language. We are going to turn English from a subject you study into a tool you use. So, grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's dive into the first habit that will help you build your English brain. Let's start with habit number 1. I call this micro-retelling. Now, don't let the name scare you. It is actually very simple, but the science behind it is incredibly strong. Usually, when we watch a video or listen to a story in English, we just try to understand it. We listen, we nod, and we say, "Okay, I got it." But then we move on to the next thing. The information goes into our ears and then floats away. Micro-retelling stops that information from floating away. Here is how you do it. First, find something very short. I'm talking about 1 or 2 minutes maximum. It could be a clip from a movie, a short news report, or even a simple cartoon. Watch it once to understand the main idea. Don't worry about every single word. Just look for the who, the what, and the where. Now, here is the secret step: turn off the video. Close your laptop. Put down your phone. Now, try to tell that story back to yourself in just 3 simple sentences. For example, imagine you watched a short video about a man who missed his bus because he stopped to help an old lady cross the street. Instead of just saying, "I understood it," you say out loud, "A man was walking to the bus stop. He helped an old lady. He missed his bus but he felt happy." That's it. That is micro-retelling. Why is this so powerful? Because you are forcing your brain to take input and transform it into output. Using your own grammar and your own vocabulary. You are not just repeating like a parrot. You are thinking. You are building a connection in your brain between a thought and a spoken sentence. When you do this every day, you train your mind to summarize information quickly, which is exactly what we do in real conversations. Now, let's move to habit number 2. This one is a game changer for anyone who feels nervous when they speak. I call it ready responses. Have you ever noticed that in daily life, we say the same things over and over again? Think about it. When someone says, "How are you?" or "How was your weekend?" or "Thank you so much," we don't need to create a new, creative sentence every time. But for many English learners, these simple moments cause stress. They think too hard about the grammar. The habit of ready responses is about saving your brain's energy. I want you to prepare your automatic answers before you actually need them. In psychology, we talk about working memory. We only have a small amount of space in our brain to think about difficult things. If you are using all your brainpower just to say, "I'm fine, thank you," you have no power left to talk about deep ideas. So, here is your task. Pick one common situation every day. Let's say, giving a compliment. Instead of just saying, "Good job," prepare 3 ready responses. You could say, "That was impressive," or "I'm really blown away by your work," or "You should be proud of yourself." Practice saying these until you can say them without thinking. It's like having a weapon in your pocket. When the moment comes, you don't have to build the weapon. You just pull it out and use it. This builds what I call conversational momentum. Once you start a conversation smoothly with a ready response, the rest of the conversation feels much easier because your confidence is already high. This leads us perfectly into habit number 3, 2-minute reactions. While the first 2 habits were about summarizing and preparing, this habit is about your heart. It's about your opinion. One of the biggest problems with English textbooks is that they are often boring. They talk about things you don't care about. But in real life, people talk about what they feel. They talk about what they like and what they hate. For this habit, I want you to take any piece of information. It could be a photo, a news headline, or a song, and I want you to speak about it for exactly 2 minutes. But here is the rule: you cannot just describe what you see. You must say how you feel about it. If you see a picture of a crowded city, don't just say, "There are many people." Say, "I think this city looks very stressful. Personally, I prefer the countryside because I love silence. I don't think I could live here." When you add your emotion to your English, something magical happens. The language becomes personal. Your brain remembers words much better when they are connected to a feeling or a personal memory. This habit teaches you how to express you. It moves you away from being a student who repeats facts to being a person who shares ideas. Don't worry about making mistakes. In these 2 minutes, the goal is not perfection, the goal is flow. Keep the clock running and keep your voice moving. We are halfway through our 7 habits. And I hope you can see the pattern here. We are moving from small summaries to prepared responses to personal opinions. We are slowly building a complete English-speaking person inside of you. But to keep this person growing, we need to talk about habit number 4, the phrase bank. Most students keep a vocabulary list. They write down a word, like magnificent, and the translation in their own language. But words are like individual bricks. A pile of bricks is not a house. To build a house, you need the bricks to be stuck together with cement. In English, that cement is the phrase. Instead of learning a single word, I want you to start collecting phrases or chunks of language. When you hear a native speaker say something like, "If I were in your shoes," or "To be honest with you," or "It's not my cup of tea," don't just look at the words. Write down the whole phrase in your phrase bank. This is your personal armory. The reason native speakers sound so fast is not because they are thinking of every word. It's because they are using pre-made phrases that their brain has stored as one single unit. When you start building a phrase bank, you stop translating word for word from your native language. You start downloading natural English directly into your speech. Aim for just one new phrase a day. That's 365 new ways to sound natural in a year. Now, let's talk about habit number 5, which is one of my personal favorites: fluency loops. This is a habit for people who want to become truly advanced. Sometimes, when we speak, we get stuck because we forget a word. For example, you want to say, "The weather is very humid." But you forget the word, humid. What do most people do? They stop. They say, wait. How do you say?" And the conversation dies. Fluency loops train you to be flexible. The habit is simple: take one idea and try to say it in 3 different ways. If the idea is, "I'm tired," your loop would be, "I'm feeling quite exhausted today." Then, "I really need to get some sleep." And then, "My energy levels are very low right now." By practicing these loops, you are training your brain to find alternative routes. If one road is blocked because you forgot a word, your brain immediately finds another road to get to the same destination. This is what true fluency looks like. It's not about knowing every word. It's about being able to explain anything with the words you already have. It makes you an unstoppable speaker. Speaking of being unstoppable, let's look at habit number 6, the 10-second performance. This is where we talk about the soul of the language. Have you ever heard someone speak English with perfect grammar, but they sound like a robot? It's hard to listen to, right? English is a language of music. It has a rhythm, it has stress, and it has emotion. For this habit, I want you to pick a 10-second clip of a person speaking. English may be an actor in a movie or a speaker in a TED Talk. I want you to copy them, but I don't want you to just copy the words. I want you to copy their soul. If they look angry, you be angry. If they are whispering a secret, you whisper. Copy the way their voice goes up and down. Copy the pauses they take. When you do this performance for just 10 seconds a day, you are training the muscles in your face and your throat to produce the physical sounds of English. But more importantly, you are learning the feeling of the language. You are learning that English isn't just a code to be solved. It's a way to express a human heart. This habit will make people want to listen to you, because you will sound alive. Finally, we reach habit number 7, the "what would I say?" mental rehearsal. This is the habit that brings everything together and makes sure you are training 24 hours a day. Even when you aren't talking to anyone. Throughout your day, whenever you are waiting for the bus, washing the dishes, or walking to the store, look at the world around you and ask yourself, if a person walked up to me right now and started a conversation, what would I say? Imagine a stranger asks you for directions. Imagine a colleague asks for your opinion on a project. Practice the conversation in your head using your phrase bank, your ready responses, and your fluency loops. This is called mental rehearsal, and professional athletes use it all the time. They imagine the game before they play it. By doing this, you are preparing your brain for reality. When a real person finally speaks to you, your brain says, "Oh, I know this. I've practiced this 100 times in my head." You will feel calm, relaxed, and ready. My dear friends, we have covered a lot today. We talked about micro-retelling, ready responses, 2-minute reactions, the phrase bank, fluency loops, 10-second performances, and mental rehearsal. I know it sounds like a lot. But remember, you don't have to do all of them perfectly starting today. Choose one. Just one. Do it for 5 minutes tomorrow. Fluency is not a giant mountain that you jump over in one day. It is a long path made of tiny steps. Every time you summarize a story, every time you save a phrase, every time you imagine a conversation, you are winning. You are becoming a better version of yourself. I believe in you. I really do. I've seen thousands of students change their lives by changing their habits. English is not a wall that is keeping you out. It is a door that is waiting for you to open it. And you have the keys right now in your hands. Thank you for spending this time with me today on English EchoLingo. It has been a true pleasure. Keep practicing, keep staying curious, and most importantly, keep being kind to yourself. Learning a language is a brave thing to do, and you are doing a great job. I'm Mike, and I'll be here waiting for you in the next episode. Until then, take care and keep speaking. Goodbye for now.